I think I just saw Uber's biggest problem, and it wasn't an autonomous Waymo or robotaxi. What happened was I was sitting here at my house just outside of Syracuse, and I wanted to see how much it would cost or shop for a ride in Uber to the city of Syracuse. But I didn't open the app. I went to Apple Maps. Apple already knows where I'm at and where I'm going. And today, it needs those apps. But what happens in the future when it doesn't? Hi, my name is Levi Spires, and this is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. Still here, still driving. The Daily Drive is brought to you by the Gig You app. Drive smart, earn more. Coming to iPhone. Use the link in the description to join the waiting list. This week, I haven't received a single tip, and not even on this ride I want to tell you about. I had an Uber ride, the first one of the week this week. The passenger paid $67, I paid $24, and neither one of us knew why. So what happens when the algorithms set prices neither side really understands? In fact, I want to quote Senator Sherrod Brown from the U.S. Senate. He says, using algorithms to set prices makes prices unpredictable and takes away people's ability to find the lowest price. And I think that's the thing Uber has been counting on. That's Uber's secret sauce, the way they make money. My first Uber ride this week, the passenger, he was going on a business trip. I'm sure he just went into Uber because he's comfortable with Uber, opens up the app, says, oh, look, that's a reasonable price, whatever it is. Company's paying for it anyway, orders the ride. Me, as the driver, I do the same thing. I look and go, $20 to get to the Syracuse airport from Manlius. Seems about right. I take it. But neither him nor I know how Uber actually prices the trips. We're both comfortable using the Uber app. We're familiar with it. We know the brand. The app works extremely well today, and everything's functioning right now. But then, just out of curiosity, I went into the Apple Maps, and I was able to find Lyft pricing right there inside of the Apple Maps program. Now, my Uber app, I don't know why it doesn't work. So I can't order Ubers as an Uber driver, whatever. But it does show me the Lyft pricing, which, by the way, was really absurd. $100-something to go to the Syracuse airport. I only live like 30 minutes from the airport. So yeah, Apple's already gathering through API that data. And what's to stop other companies, apps from doing that? Like, for example, we're talking about Apple Maps. What if it's the Apple iOS and now Siri is involved? Let's do ChatGPT gets access to this data, or Grok or Claude. See, that eliminates the shopping. Let me explain. I go into Grok soon, by the end of this year, maybe. Next year, probably for sure. At the latest, 2028. And I go into Grok, and instead of saying, order me an Uber to get to the Syracuse airport, I'll say, Grok, I need to be at the Syracuse airport at this time. Get me a ride. Now, today, where I live, you pretty much got one or two options. Go into Uber or Lyft, maybe call a taxi. But soon, there's going to be other competitors. Waymo, Lyft, whoever. Right now, I'm busy. I've got to record a podcast. I got to go out and Uber drive. I want to spend time with my family. I don't want to spend a lot of time shopping for a ride. I might open the Uber app and see what the prices are. I might open the Lyft app and compare, but that's about it. I'm going to pick the cheaper of the two and go with one of them. Grok, in the future, as my shopper, has infinite patience and amazing negotiating skills, right? It's going to go into the app and say, Uber is $60, Lyft is $100. I'm going to look at Uber. And then it's going to start to call taxi companies and say, what is your price? What is your price? And it's going to negotiate for me. That's one half of the equation, but there's more to it. I just think it's a bigger problem than a robotaxi problem. So Dara, the CEO of Uber, said this. He says, autonomous technology has remarkable potential to make transportation safer and more affordable. And Uber just committed another $10 billion to type of things. Then We know there's a Waymo problem. So Waymo does two things that, and Uber only does one. Waymo actually has an app, and so does Uber, and a marketplace, but Waymo actually does the cars. So now, hypothetically, if Waymo existed in my city, my Grok search might do something like this. I say, hey, I need to be at the airport. Grok goes out there and looks at Lyft, Uber, Waymo, and shops. But we know there's robotaxi. We know there's Zoox coming along. So now there's 5 potential things. A taxi company. But let's talk about that taxi company. That taxi company is the most interesting thing, because Uber is an amazing app today. It really is. It functions extremely well. So is Lyft. But Google, Tesla, Amazon are amazing app development companies too. And they have big data sets, like Uber has a big data set. So they're very capable companies of delivering the app for me, my Grok, to go out and shop. Now, the taxi company. This one I think is the most interesting. What's to stop these taxi companies from doing some level of AI work themselves, developing their own app? What if a taxi company has 10 cars here in the city of Syracuse, or 1,000 in New York City? And they're part of the New York City taxi TLC law or whatever it might be. And they're able to also compete. Now that's 6, 7, 8, 10. There could be dozens of taxi companies here in Syracuse. And Grok, my agent, with infinite patience, knowing my pricing and budgeting and what kind of car I like and preferences and all those things, my schedule, is going to go out and shop all functions at the exact same time and negotiate them. It's going to set the whole thing up. I would never do that on my own. I would never call taxi company after taxi company after taxi company, or private limousine service, or whatever solution. I can even see, this is really freaky, but imagine Grok texting a couple of my friends for me. Hey, Bob, do you want to take me to the airport? Now I would never do that. But imagine if Bob's cell phone, I'm making up a friend Bob, but Bob's cell phone rings and it's like Grok on my behalf. Do you want to take Levi to the airport? Or worse, it represents me. It's like, hey, Bob, it was fun going to the movies with you the other night. Do you want to take me to the airport? But the AI agents are going to start doing their own thing. Now, Uber is going to have its own AI agents too. But today, Uber is the beast. It's the market. If you want to go anywhere in the United States in a private car, you can order an Uber. You can maybe order a Lyft, but for the most part, you can order an Uber. It has all the drivers, it has all the customers, and it's in every city. And I'm an Uber driver out in the middle of nowhere, America. If I go south of my house or southeast of my house, it's nothing but cows and Amish people. And I still get Uber rides around those locations in the middle of nowhere. So we know what Uber is doing is actually working. But what makes me think is, what is Uber's value today? And what is its value in the future? Let's talk about today. What is Uber really selling? Well, I think it's an amazing app and an amazing marketplace. It really is. I know as a driver that I can turn the Uber app on and for the most part, drive around my city and make a little bit of money. I used to make more, but not anymore. But that's a supply and demand thing, and Uber's got to make money as a stock. I get all that, and that's a podcast for another day. But Uber works. So does Lyft. So does DoorDash and all these other gigs. But what are they really selling? Access, a marketplace? And how does Uber actually make money? I think Uber makes money through arbitrage, asymmetric information. That driver, the guy I took to the airport on Monday morning, he doesn't know why Uber priced it what it was. And his threshold for price could be $100 to $60. And because he probably didn't shop, Uber's got kind of a captive audience. And to my failure to some extent as a driver, I pretty much just do Uber. I don't do Lyft. I don't do DoorDash a lot or anything else. Uber kind of knows I'm the same way. They know what I've taken before in the past. They know a lot about me. So Uber's using my information and the passenger's information and that arbitrage to that level of ignorance. We don't know anything. and that's how they're making that money off that gap. That's why Uber was able to make what it was able to make on this particular ride. But that's going away, right? When let's talk about the passenger. When the passenger is using AI to do the negotiating, it's no longer asymmetric information because now that AI agent is going to know all the available rides from his house to the airport. And me, as a driver, at some point in time, I'm also going to have AI working for me as a driver. So I don't know what Uber's value is in the future, but I want to make some guesses, and I want Uber to succeed because I'm a driver, right? So I want it to win. I don't want Uber to go away. So what Uber has today is definitely incredibly difficult to reproduce. And we know that because Lyft, as good as an app it is, I think Lyft is a better app as a driver, but it's hard for me to turn the Lyft app on here in Syracuse and sit around parked for an hour and not get a ride. It just doesn't have the demand. It's just not a big marketplace. So what should the Uber app become? Well, there's a part of me that wants Uber to double down on drivers. If all of its biggest competitors are artificial intelligence, autonomous cars, Waymos, robotaxis, Zooks, etc., what if Uber said, we're going to focus on the drivers? Not necessarily make life better for me, but tell the consumer, yeah, there's autonomous cars. And by the way, we at Uber also have autonomous cars, but we have drivers. And look at these good drivers. There's a driver named Levi in Syracuse. Look at him. He's 5-star. He keeps a clean car. He's really good. Right now, today, the relationship between Uber and the drivers is hostile. It's a negative working environment. I think most drivers would quit Uber instantaneously if a better app came along. We have no loyalty to it because I don't think Uber likes me as a driver. I don't think Uber wants me as a driver. But what if Uber really, truly leverage the value of human drivers, what we bring to the table? Now, I know some point in time in the future, there'll be no human drivers. I don't know when that is. It's coming. But today, Uber could say, we have the most professional drivers out there, better than any taxi, better than whoever. Now, I don't know if Uber really does. I think there are some problems, but there's that opportunity. I think another thing is that what if Uber became the transportation infrastructure? Its servers, algorithms, programmers, like everybody goes through the Uber app, not necessarily to get a driver or a ride, but some sort of like they've built the system that everybody uses. I don't know how that works. I don't. I was just thinking about things that Uber could leverage. What if it's sold? Like the way Tesla can sell or license FSD to other manufacturers, Ford, Toyota. Tesla's FSD software is worthy. It's so good, it should be licensed. And Uber or Tesla can sell that. Well, I think Uber has something similar, right? So they could sell that, not necessarily the customers themselves, but sell the suite of algorithms or whatever it might be. And again, I'm not a software guy, Dara. I'm just trying to help. I'm sure you got your handle on it. I assume you do. I hope you do, because I need this Uber gig to play out for a few more years. The truth is this: whatever the Uber algorithm actually did on Monday for that ride, for getting me to go pick him up and then getting him to the airport, it worked. He's satisfied with the 60 some odd dollars, no tip, but he's satisfied with what he paid. I assume he gave me 5 stars because I have all 5-star ratings, and I was satisfied with the pay. I wish I could make more, and that's a podcast for another day, and the take rate and the commercial auto insurance. So there's some real problems there, and that's probably why he didn't tip me. He's thinking like, gosh, this driver's making $40-$50 on this trip. When I only made 20, because everybody is confused about the take rate. But that's another podcast and another day. But ultimately, I got paid 20 something bucks to take that guy to the airport. And yeah, it worked. So maybe Uber survives, becomes the plumbing, as I said. Maybe Uber looks at drivers not with disdain. I know they probably don't think they think that way, by the way, but I know drivers don't feel the love from the Uber app. Um, but what if Uber doubled down, tripled down, and took drivers that like me or like you, the ones that are really trying hard to have clean cars, be safe, professional, represent their brand really well, and actually leveraged in a myriad of ways, paying us more, whatever it might be, but highlighting it, whatever it might be, and said, Waymo might be good. Waymo cars end up in the ditch or they go through or they get stuck in roundabouts or whatever, but not our human drivers. If you need somebody to help you with the luggage, get you the lowdown on the city, whatever it might be, the things that we do as drivers, and you want to feel safe in a human driven car, not in a autonomous car, go through Uber. But there is a future, and I think Uber has to know this, or humans don't open the Uber app. And I don't think Uber or anybody else knows where we're going. Thank you so much to the sponsors, Gig U and Red Tiger. Subscribe to the upfront tip here. It's in the link in the description there where you can get emails of more content like this in your inbox. Become a Thrive member. You can join this website or the YouTube channel if you get a chance. So $3-4 a month, and it really helps me create content like this. You can join, if you're a driver, you can join the free Facebook group. It's called Thrive over on Facebook. Again, another link in the description. And of course, if you want to talk about golf, politics, or anything else, you can connect with me on any platform. I would love to connect with you. Drivers, I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. I want you to make as much money as possible, but I want you to enjoy the ride. My name is Levi Spires. I hope you enjoy the ride. I'm cheering for you. Be well. Bye.